back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a very quick video on how to make this kids jumper. So the first thing I did is to get my fabric, and this is the fabric I'm using here. This is going to be the bottom. So as you can see, it's 2 pieces of it here. This is going to be for a 2 years going to 3 years old, but this same method can go for any kid up to even 9 years old. You just have to alter the measurement. So the next thing you're going to do is, the width of the fabric I'm using is like the hip of the baby, which is, so that's like 20, and then divided by 4, that's 5 plus extra 2 inches. This 2 inches is going to contain ease and my ease and seam allowance, so that's going to give me 7, and then plus extra 1.5, which is going to be the crotch. So that's why I have about 8.5 here. So the length I have here is 1/2 inch for attaching this here to the top part, and then the bottom part is about and then 1 inch for folding the end. So what I have here is like 12 inches. So what you have to do is just measure from their waist and to the length you want the bottom of this 3.5 inches, 2 inches of seam allowance and ease, and then 1.5 for the crotch area. But if it's like bigger kids up to like maybe let's say 6 years old, 7 years old, 9 years old, you might want to make the crotch about 2 inches, not 1.5. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in here and mark that 1.5. So I'm going to mark that 1.5 here, and then I'm going to use about another way you can do it is just take their short pants, fold it into 2, and use it to trace it out. If you are not familiar with this kind of method, and just trace it out and leave your seam allowance in there. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come down by about 6 inches for the crotch of this, because you want it, so because they're going to have their diapers on, you're going to try to make this loose. That's why I use extra 2 inches for the ease and seam allowance, because you want it loose on them. So I'm going to come down, let's say by about almost 7 inches here, and then I'm going to mark it. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this part out here. This is going to be my new crotch measurement here. So you see, and then after cutting this out, I'm going to take this here. This width here is going to fit even the top part. So I'm going to use this width here to determine what I'm going to cut for the top. So you see, I folded my fabric again into 2, and then I use this particular width here because this is going to still join to this part and before I attach my elastic. So I use this here to trace out this top part here, because this is supposed to be loose. So the same measurement I'm using for the bottom is what I'm using for the top. So I cut out 2 of this here, you see, and it's folded, and you see the folded parts are meeting each other, and it's the same here. So what I'm going to do now is, this my top part here, you are going to measure from their shoulder to their waist, like where the waist is going to meet the span, the bottom parts here. And what I got for mine is almost about, let's say about 7 inches or so. So what you're going to do is you're going to come down by 2 inches, because remember this has a rope, and the rope is going to tie to the shoulder. So you don't want these bodies here getting up to the shoulder. So you come down by 2 inches here, or 2 inches. So you're going to subtract 2 inches from the main body. So if I subtract that 2 inches, I'm going to be left with about let's say, so in total I'm going to be left, if I subtract that 2 inches, I have the tape is at 8 inches here. But if I break down my tape and mark it, it's just 6 inches that I have here. See what I'm trying to explain? So normally your bodies will look something like this, right? With your armhole and then your shoulder slants. This is the child's shoulder here, right? But remember, this here is going to have a rope going up to the shoulder to tie, right? So you want to have some space here so that the rope can go up to the shoulder. Because if you make these bodies up to this top part here, up to the shoulder line here, you not have, so that means the rope is just going to tie on top of the shoulder. It won't look nice. So you need to come down at least 2 inches before you get to the shoulder part. So, but if it's for a bigger kid, you might make it like maybe 3 inches, come down 3 inches. That's for like, let's say 6 years old. So the next thing I'm going to do is to come in here by 2.5, or let's say 3 inches here, and then I'm going to come down again by, let's say 2.5 inches here, and then at this point here I'm going to curve it, and then I'm going to trace this out. So this is now going to be my armhole, right? I'm just trying to refer back to if you're making for a bigger kid, because I know people will also want to make for maybe 9 to maybe 6 years old. So after that, you're going to come down here by 1 inch. If you want, you can leave this part straight, but I think it's better to give it a curve. It looks nicer that way. So I'm going to mark this here and then cut this out, right? So this is going to be the center neckline, and this is going to be the armhole. So what I'm going to do now is this center neckline here, I'm going to just take my tape, my piece of fabric, like make your bias, cut about 1.5 inch of fabric and use it to finish up this neckline. So I'm going to use it to finish up my 2 center neckline. Just this center part is what you're going to do, but just leave this side for now. So guys, this is the pants here. So what we are going to, the next thing we're going to do for the short is, the way it is now, I'm going to go ahead. You see, if I open it up, it looks like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn it wrong side, right side facing this, and then the right side facing this one here. You're going to close up the crotch area. So I'm going to go ahead and close up these 2 parts here. Then I went ahead and closed up these 2 sides. So what I'm going to do now is to open, and as you can see, I folded this straight line, like I hemmed my end. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up this way, right? And then I'm going to close up the crotch all the way. I'm going to make a stitch all the way, close up this crotch. So guys, I've gone ahead and made this stitch. So now I'm going to flip it inside out. So guys, this is the bottom now. So we'll finish up the top. So for the top part, this is the front, the one piece of the front panel. So I used bias to finish up this end. Then I put, I'm using for the strap is about 2 inches of one. So you see, I've used bias to fold this top part here. So what you're going to do, I've not finished the side. So what I did basically is just to get that piece of fabric that I'm using, the 4 inches I was talking about, like this. You're going to just place it this way and make a stitch on top all the way and close it up, right? So you're just going to fold it this way and close it up all the way, just the same way. I'll show you guys for this side. So what I did is fold in this side, fold in the other side, right? So folding the 2 ends, put this in between, just like how you normally use like a bias. You're now going to close this with the place this on top and then make a stitch. You're going to continue that stitch all the way till the end of the rope. So that's going to be it for the top. When you're done, you will join the 2 patterns together. So guys, this is it here. I've gone ahead. So when I finished putting in the straps, I closed up the armhole. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this around. You see, this is on the right side. I flipped the right side of this pants, but this is the wrong side of this top. So I'm going to put this inside, right? I'm going to put it inside here and then bring it. So guys, this is it here. So you see how I put it in. So this is the wrong side here. So I flipped it this way. But if I open it this way, you see that it's the right side that is facing each other, right side of the pant, right side of this. So what I'm going to do now is this opening here, I'm going to go on and close this whole opening. So I'm going to just make a stitch all the way around. So guys, this is it here. I've gone ahead and made the stitch. So if I pull it up this way now, you see that it's joined together. So what I'm going to do now is to take my elastic. So you're going to take your elastic and measure around the waist for the child, and then you're going to just take that same elastic and then you're going to open this back up again, and you're going to just go ahead and you're going to go to your sewing machine. You place this elastic. I'm attaching it to the pants and not the top part, so the bottom is where this elastic will be. So I'm going to place it here and then I'm going to stretch it and keep sewing on it. So I'm going to just put it this way on my sewing machine, right, and then just pull it and then keep sewing. So it will help me gather it all the way around. So guys, at this point I'll just go ahead and iron it. So this is what it looks like here. So just tie this here and tie this side. The waist, this is how, so I need to still go back in and trim off all the excess thread. But you see, you just pull the elastic and keep sewing on the elastic. So that's it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye.